The we have to take things in the moderate way, and the topic is about to stay away from those who say La ilaha illallah. A lot of people are mentioning this hadith that really is not good because it's weak. The meaning is correct, but it is not a hadith. The hadith that people has said it is very weak, extremely weak hadith. Three three things are from the core of faith to stay away from La ilaha illallah. Those who say La ilaha illallah, we do not take him away from Islam by work, and the jihad is going to stay until the Muslim fight the Dajjal, and nothing will stop it. No oppressor will stop it. So three things of faith to stay away from those who say La ilaha illallah. You don't take him away from Islam by any action, and the jihad will still go from the time that Allah has sent Muhammad to the day of Jadal, and the third one to believe in the destiny, good and bad. And this is something Dawood and Bayhaqi and others, but in its narrations there is people that has declared that he is among the unknown. Al-Dhahabi said that the Imma, they, which is Yazid of Abi Nashba and Ibn Hajar and others, they say that he is unknown. So that makes the hadith weak. But that's weakness in the hadith does not mean that the meaning is wrong or the indication is wrong, because the indication from what we, the believers in the Sunnah and Jama'ah, believe in, it was narrated in different hadith on on the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. From this, what the Shaykhan Muslim Bukhari said, that Ibn Umar said, he said the Prophet said, I was ordered to fight people until they bear witness La ilaha illallah and Muhammad Rasulullah, and they establish the prayers and they give the charity. If they did this, they protected themselves, they protected their blood from me, except with the right of Islam and their accountability on Allah the Almighty. So that statement in the first hadith, that we do not give him, we don't make him disbelieve him in any sin, that means we don't, when someone make a sin, that make him immediately a kafir. Or someone did something that are and there is no excuses, and you don't make him disbeliever from every sin. Whoever curses Allah or the Prophet ﷺ or the religion of the Muslims, meaning the religion that came on Muhammad ﷺ, or who cursed Aisha, or who hid something in the religion by necessity. So these are things are known. There's a chapter of Ridda reversion. There are certain things whoever said or did it, he is one who reverted from Islam. So when we say we don't make him a disbeliever, does not that mean that no matter what you do, you're not going to be disbeliever? No, that's not true. This is not correct. Because Allah said, they said the word of disbelief, and they disbelieved after Islam. And this is something Allah had said. Those who curse the reciters of the Quran, Allah descended on them, do not apologize, you have disbelieved after your faith. But you don't no emotion should be done in this chapter and this topic. It has to be within the boundaries of Islam or the rules of Islam. No one is disbeliever unless those that came very clearly in the Quran or the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Or the scholars agree that he is a disbeliever. And no one can be taken from Islam by any action. You cannot make it absolute because someone must step on the Quran with this action. He is a disbeliever, or he will do magic. Then he is a disbeliever, as a lot of scholars agree. So to say that a person cannot leave Islam by any action, it can't be. Yeah, it's not absolute. The meaning here is to be careful and to be aware from the belief or the ideologies of the Khawarij, who used to make all Muslim disbelievers because of any sins. I will talk in details about how we respond back to them. Allah said, Allah will not be forgive that He will be associated partners with, but He forgive anything He wish after that. Because Allah called the shirk as a sin, and Allah called that in the Quran different area, that the highest sin is to make partners with Allah, and He created you. The putting partners with Allah is the greatest sin ever. Because the people, we know the rule that those who commit sins, they are in the danger of Allah's will. If He wish, He will forgive them or He will punish them. And those who died and did not repent from their sin, it is all under Allah's wish. The story of Islam said that showed this as a practical lecture to all of us. It is in the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ that Muslims can learn from this in all time what to do. The Osama ibn Zayd is a young man. He was 16 years old when this incident happened. And he was 16 years old, yes. He went in the battle with the Prophet ﷺ with a great attitude, and he was all excited, and he was in his young age and his strength. He did not even he barely reached 16 or very close to it, and he probably was the youngest person in the army. Maybe it was his first battle in the sake of Allah. And the two groups met, and then the swords start fighting, and he wanted to find the worst mushrik. And he is like going around. Then he saw one of the mushriks. He has very, who is, if this pillar came in, he is the worst. And he's the one who protects them if they start to run away. And if he wants to find one of the Muslims, he will kill him. So he went after him, and one of the people from the Ansar, and if they almost got him with their swords, look at his past, his sword still have the blood of the Muslims. And he said, La ilaha illallah. The Ansari, he took his sword away from him. He heard the La ilaha illallah, so he took the sword away from him. But Usama, he thought that he is a person who is afraid of the sword, Now you're saying this after you killed so many Muslims? The Sheikh is saying about Hamim in Surah Safat, when there was a fitna between the companions, one of the people he remembered this ayah, so he said this shouldn't he say Hamima before the fight? So he again back to Osama. He thought that this disbeliever, he want to say La ilaha illallah, so he would protect himself from being killed, and he still have the he said it to protect himself. So Osama didn't believe him, so he put his spear in the heart of that person and he killed him. So someone came to the Prophet ﷺ to give him the glad tidings of the victory in the battle and what happens in it, from the thing that he was told, that the killing of that person, and what he said before he died. So when this reached Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he called Usama bin Zayd. He said, "Oh Usama, you killed him after he said La ilaha illallah." He said, "Oh Rasulullah." He said he was afraid of the sword. So he told him, "Did you open his heart to see whether he said it to say that or no?" So Usama wanted to show the Prophet ﷺ that this man deserved to be killed because of how many Muslims he killed. He said, "Oh Prophet, he killed a lot of Muslims. He killed so and so and so." And he told people that he alayhi know them in person. These are his close companions that he found them in his masjid, in his way. And these are his soldiers that went to fight under his orders. And that's enough to bring the attention of the Prophet. That shows the that person deserve to be killed. But the Prophet ﷺ pass all of this and don't care about it and don't listen to it. And he said, "What are you going to do with La ilaha illallah when it comes at the day of judgment?" So he saw the Prophet ﷺ do not accept his what he said. He knew how big that uh, his action. So he took the Prophet ﷺ as a person who wanted to repent from what he did. He said, "Oh Prophet of Allah, ask Allah's forgiveness. I'm not gonna argue. Ask you to ask Allah's forgiveness." He did his best in this battle. He didn't want to. He did not intend to disobey Allah or the Prophet ﷺ. He just thought that this man is saying this statement to prevent himself from being killed, and he used the evidence from the battle. But the Prophet ﷺ did not take any of these things at all. And Usama waited, and he wanted the Prophet ﷺ to tell him, "May Allah forgive you." And the Prophet ﷺ repeated to him, "What are you going to do with La ilaha illallah when it comes at the day of judgment?" He said, "Oh Prophet of Allah, ask Allah's forgiveness." What are you going to do with La ilaha illallah if it comes at the day of judgment? that Osama, he wished that he did not embrace Islam except after that time. So Allah forgives what's before it. You know, Islam forgives what's before it, and the Hijrah wipes what's before it. So his Islam will take off what was before. So every time there's a fitna, he always try to see to be there with anyone who died because he said La ilaha illallah. Until Sa'd ibn Waqqas, with all his attributes and his elder, he said, I will not fight a Muslim until Usama fights him. Because of what he sees in Usama and guarding himself from killing a Muslim or anything about the blood of a Muslim. May Allah have peace and tranquility on the person who taught, which is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The first lesson here, the age of Osama, 16 years old. You cannot take this lightly. You wonder how a kid who wants to put himself to fight with an intention that is very clear. And this intention to go for jihad, it has to be prepared mentally and spiritually to have that mentality where he will have that highest trust that he wanted to fight in the sake of Allah. The way the Prophet ﷺ, the way he dealt with him, it shows that there's maturity in the person that he is blaming. And don't think this talk from the Prophet ﷺ is taken to someone who is still a teenager. Nowadays, when we see someone, we still give him chocolate. We not even consider him a man. But the way the Prophet ﷺ tried to teach this teenager, it's very, very important. And all of us are surprised at the age of Osama, who's receiving this blame from the Prophet ﷺ. And also, we could the importance of the blood, no matter what are the indication. And that was very clear for the companions. And the Prophet ﷺ has filled their souls with it, that blocked them from killing anyone. We could see this from the guy from the Ansar, because he did what Osama did, but when it came to hear La ilaha illallah, he went back and he took his sword away. So he stopped from killing him after he heard La ilaha illallah, even though he could have killed him. Also, he could hear from this that this is a news, but people are keep talking. That's why people, when they were talking about it, that was part of the report that was given to the Prophet ﷺ. All of this indicate that the Prophet ﷺ, he once he already settled that meaning of the importance of the sacredness of the blood in all the hearts of his companions. And I want to remind you again, who is Usama ibn Zayd? It is the grandchild of the Prophet ﷺ. Usama, son of Zayd. And the Prophet ﷺ adopted him, and this is the time when before he used to be called the Usama ibn Zayd ibn Muhammad, because the Prophet ﷺ did adopted him. Before Allah has forbidden the naming the adopted person after the father. And he alayhi salatu wasalam continued his loving as a father with Usama. And he used to wash his face with the hands of Usama when he was still a child. He said if Usama was I would give him anything. And one time he slipped and he cut his forehead. The Prophet ﷺ kept sucking the blood out of the face of Usama and keep it away, clean it with his own face. And that shows you how close Usama was to the Prophet ﷺ. And Usama became older and he had more love to the Prophet ﷺ. And he was known that he is the love of the Prophet ﷺ and the son of his beloved ones. And that's why he alayhi salatu wasalam blamed him or criticized him very harshly, because he is too close to the Prophet ﷺ. And this young child, he kept asking the Prophet ﷺ to ask for forgiveness, and he alayhi salatu wasalam did not even look at him and did not give him what he wanted to hear. He wished that he could hear the Prophet ﷺ say, "May Allah forgive you." And he alayhi salatu wasalam, because Allah said if the companions, if they made a sin and they asked Allah's forgiveness and they asked the Prophet to ask forgiveness, they would have found that Allah is forgiven. So Allah's messenger did not add more than, what are you going to do with La ilaha illallah when it comes to you at the day of judgment? And Usama left that meeting without hearing the word of "May Allah forgive you." And if anyone deserved to be asked forgiveness, it could have been Usama. But this harsh treatment from Rasulullah has a great effect on Usama, which really corrected him for the rest of his life. And that's why he wished he never embraced Islam except after that incident. First of all, you could have said that he killed him in a battlefield, and the man was among the disbelievers fighting against the Muslims, declared, and he killed several Muslims. And Sam saw the best of the companions die under the sword of that disbeliever. And he saw with his own eyes how he protected the disbelievers. He is the strongest when they fight, and he is the one who protects them when they run away. So Usama and his Ansari companions They cornered him, and you can still see the blood of the companions uh, on his clothes. And he did not say the Shahada, Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, only when he could not defend himself, when he could not fight, which shows that he said it just to protect himself from the sword, not where his heart is filled with La ilaha illallah. But the Prophet ﷺ, he liked everywhere to interpret La ilaha illallah and made it clear that what's in the heart, only Allah, the one who could is exposed to the heart, can put people accountable. And that's why he alayhi salatu wasalam told him, did you open his heart to see whether he really meant La ilaha illallah? Did he say it because he was afraid of the sword? So he alayhi salatu did not leave any interpretation for us, no second guessing on something that is unseen for us, and leave the unseen to the one who knows everything in the unseen, Allah the Almighty. And this way, the emotions of people will not be a factor in killing people. That's why when it comes to fighting, when it comes to people's lives, their reputation, Allah's Prophet did not leave that for us. He didn't say La ilaha illallah except to protect himself from. Uh, how about those who kill everybody, who kill people who say La ilaha illallah? And the Prophet ﷺ was angry because someone said La ilaha illallah one time. How about those who kill people who say La ilaha illallah all the time, who did not say nothing except that all their lives? They did not do nothing except that. Every sin, may Allah forgives, except a person die disbeliever, or a believer kills another believer intentionally. The Muslim still safe unless he kills someone wrong, wrongfully. So we should not say people who are disbelievers unless who did the acceptance of the sin. And you don't call someone a disbeliever unless you have the rules of disbelief to be existing. Like, as someone might not pay a zakah and he is new to Islam, and we have a newcomer to Islam, they don't know what is known to us in Islam, but they don't know that all the time. When the religion is there, it's different than when it's not. When we don't call people disbeliever unless they make the sin permissible. What does that mean? Like if he says the things that are permissible are forbidden, and he said riba is halal, usually is halal. But whomever say it is halal nowadays, you need to give him details of what does he mean with that. Maybe he's saying the interest in the bank is halal because he heard a mufti in his country to say it is a replacement for the inflation. Uh, so you don't call him a disbeliever, you just tell him that you're wrong and this is a wrong virtue or fatwa. But you debate him, and because something else said, some of those who are supposedly a knowledgeable person. So you have to bring this interpretation when he said that word. The haram, that is clear, that is known that it is haram. And one of the ways of istihlal is to say the rule of Allah and cuss that rule of Allah and to take the wisdom out of it, even if they still believe in it. This is a different way of, like if they say the hijab is ignorance, it is a cultural thing. This is a veil on the brains or the heart. This is what some people who are saying that kind of talk, he did not deny that Allah ordered in his book, but he is disbelieving in this, in the wisdom of Allah in making it, and and he is attacking those who are attached to Allah's order. So he believe that it is the order of Allah, just like Iblis. He did not doubt, did not deny that Allah has told him to prostrate to Adam. His disbelief was not to deny what Allah said, because Allah told him directly. He sent him a messenger that he told him, your Allah is ordering you to prostrate to Adam. No, Allah ordered him directly. So what was he? He did not deny. It was the arrogance. Allah said that he refused and he has that arrogance and he was among the disbelievers. Because he argued Allah's wisdom and he returned the order to Allah, the one who made the order. He said, I prostrate to that you have created out of mud. You want to do prostrate to someone you made of mud? I am better than him. You made me out of fire and you made him out of mud. And Allah said, leave it, you are going to be stoned. And you have my curse until the day of judgment. To talk back to Allah and to talk about the wisdom of Allah, this is another type of disbelief in Allah. He disbelieved because he refused Allah's order and he was arrogant and he denied the wisdom of the order of Allah. Ameen. And before we close this topic, we need to indicate about an important issue. There's two types in the Sunnah. The first one, a big disbelief. What is the rule for this one? Not to deny something that Allah has descended. Either he disbelieve in a fact or he refused to do it. The second one, disbelief that will not take you out of Islam. And it is in the warning that people agreed that will not take you from faith except with istihad. Example, two things in people are disbelief. When they deny the fatherhood of a person, and also, and Allah put a punishment for those who do this, to wipe them 80 times and not to take their testimony. These are the disbeliever, the rebellious. They will be punished. They're not disbelievers. Otherwise, they will be dealt with like the ones who are reverters. So two things is disbelief, and the other one is to cry on the deceased. And also the disbelief of women on the life. The Prophet ﷺ said, I saw the hellfire, and I saw a lot of the ladies of the hellfire. They disbelieve. They asked him, they disbelieve in Allah. He said, no, they disbelieve the goodness that was given to them. If you give one of them everything and she found one small thing, she said, I haven't seen anything good from you ever. This is a hadith from Al-Bukhari. And he also said the topic of aggression within an aggression. When Allah said, those who believe and did not mix their faith with transgression, these they have the safety and they are guided. And they told the Prophet, who is among us who did not transgress among himself? We're all destroyed. If there is no safety or guidance except for anyone who did not mix his faith with a sin, all of us done that. So he said, no, that's not what you saying. It is the transgression here, it's shirk, is disbelief, putting partners with Allah. Didn't you hear what Luqman said to his son? Oh my son, do not have shirk with Allah. It is a great sin, great transgression. And the same thing with the putting partners. One type will take you out of Islam, and the other one is minor, like to swear by someone beside Allah, or showing off, or to glorify someone just like glorify Allah. Anything beyond that, it is the minor one. And we have to distinguish between them and disbelieve in the other. And if you have a problem with something, ask the people of scholars if you are not aware. Inshallah, we'll continue on Thursday.